Greetings everybody, welcome back here to Marvel Avengers Alliance on GG. I am your mystical host, Napalm Dawn, and today we are going to talk about the Mystical E ISO and some combinations that you can use with this particular ISO. This particular E ISO is more powerful than you may think, and I'm going to show it in action to you guys. So the first thing that we're going to do is focus on a null-based team-up. So Black Knight right now is running Snappy Service and the Mystical E ISO. Attacks are now also magic. My agent is running the Devourer, the Weather Control Device, the Rapier, and the Crooked Branch, and then that's our boy Null. So, what does the Mystical E ISO do? It says that everything you do now has magic tied to it. Debuffs, heals, attacks, everything now has magic as part of the scenario. So the first thing I'm going to use is the Crooked Branch. This was from a spec-ops that existed a long time ago. It is very similar to the Rectifier, except that it heals when you do magic, and it assaults the enemy team if they use energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the enemy team bleeding. There's a reason for this. Black Knight likes bleeds, and the Devourer on my agent likes bleeds. The Devourer is magic. It's magic inherently. You don't need to run the E ISO to make it magic. So right now, what the Black Knight just did is magic. You'll notice he took a heal from Reverberation. So I'm going to use Atonement as a quick action. And now I'm going to use his level 1. The reason why I'm not using his Horse to Valnor is because everybody is bleeding already. But by doing the Ebony Blade, the entire team has Blood Curse. It says that if I commit a slashing action, it will add a bleed, or it will add an extra stack of bleeds. So for example, the Devourer puts out 1 stack of bleeds. With that passive, the Devourer is now going to put out 2 stacks of bleeds, and the Rapier will also cause bleeds. So now, as you can see, she took a Meteor Swarm stack. And she's beating up on our Bruiser over here. So now, if we look, she's got 1, he's got 1, he has none. To be expected, the power armor is brand new. So we're going to make everybody bleed. And now if we look, she's got 2 stacks, she's got 2 stacks. We look at the Devourer, it says bleeding times 2. The Rapier would now, well, the Rapier's just melee. It's not slashing. Alright, so the Rapier's not going to cause bleeds. I would have assumed that it would be slashing, but it isn't. So that Hydra Vanguard took a stack, and he just died. So the power armor doesn't have any stacks, but he is bleeding. Now he's really going to be bleeding. He's got a full 3 stacks right there. Reverberation healed my agent because the Devourer is a magic sword. Now the entire team has Blood Curse right now, so what we could go ahead and do is get Valnor going. That's magic. So if we look at Sin, Sin is going to have a lot of stacks right now. 5 stacks. Null has only attacked her once of his own action. She now has full stacks of Meteor Swarm because everything Black Knight does is magic. And my agent also did a bunch of magic. So that is one way that you can apply the Mystical E ISO. It is great with Null. Slap it on a hero that is very melee heavy. Your Quicksilvers, your Spitfires, Union Jacks, Sweats Devil, Iron Fist. Give them the Mystical E ISO, and Null will love that hero for days. Here's why. Null has that ISO called Tag Team. It says that any melee action your team does, Null may have a chance at an extra turn. Even counters. The Rapier works. The Mandible works. The T-Bolt Glove works. All of the things like that. The Grace Note wouldn't, but anything that is melee gives Null a chance to gain an extra turn. Black Knight, everything he does is melee, including his counters. Same for Sweats Devil, same for Haste. All those guys are melee, so you may give Null an extra turn. Now, if they're also using magic and melee, they're going to put out stacks of Meteor Swarm like no tomorrow. One of the best applications for it is Age of Ultron Quicksilver. Now, I never ever favor Age of Ultron Quicksilver over Quicksilver. There is one reason why the Age of Ultron Quicksilver is actually better in this scenario than Bisquick. Age of Ultron Quicksilver has that passive that says he has a chance to interrupt melee attacks. That interrupt is melee, and then with that ISO is magic. So not only would he potentially feed Null an extra turn, but he'll feed Null a meteor stack. So that's really crazy what you can do there. And you know he's going to get 2 a turn, unless of course he's exhausted, which is a new thing now. But you could really surprisingly slap a Mystical ISO on Quicksilver, put Tag Team on Null, put him on defense, and it may go crazy. You don't need to run Pesty. You don't need to run the Scroll of Runemeroth. The Meteor Swarm, unless you have magic immunity, is not removable until Null dies. But you could thoroughly create a scenario where a team has got 5 stacks, like right in the first round, or maybe 4. And Quicksilver ensures that right at the beginning of the next turn, after the Meteor Swarm's out, he's doing something, and potentially AoE. So, do not try it with people who have subtle abilities. I tried an experiment by giving the Mystical ISO to Kuurth, thinking that her Love Me and her Fear Me would do it. It doesn't. It cannot be a subtle action. It has to be offense in some way. Even if it's a quick action like the weather control device, that's fine, but it cannot be subtle. So throw that out. But, again, great team, Spitfire, Sweats Devil, Quicksilver, everything like that. So another way that you can use this particular ISO, let's get somebody flamey over here. Could do vision. I want to get somebody flamey because of Ymir. His passes. Alright, so we'll get some fire. Now, what I'm going to do for my agent is I'm going to show you how you could use the Mystical E ISO on your agent rather than a hero. The best way to do it is if you have them grab one of the empowered square trenches. Infiltrator, Scrapper, Bruiser, Blaster, or Tactician. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Bruiser. Right now this suit has the resonant empowered ISO on it. That says that all magic attacks create a heal. And now with the Mystical ISO, everything I do is magic, everything I do is going to heal. The Crooked Branch is also going to get in on this. So this is going to be absolutely crazy. Watch what's going to happen with this. You also see this show up slightly in my Oni Breaker video, which I will be doing some point after this video. Alright, so fire. The Rapier procs, which is melee, so Null might get an extra turn, but he doesn't. By the way, if you wanted to guarantee, you could equip the ISO on Null himself, and it would guarantee that his own abilities, including his counter, will guarantee a stack on the enemy, because everything he does is magic. Even World Breaker itself would be magic, so you may even open up with 2 stacks. So we're going to use the Crooked Branch, which says magic equals heals. And we will go ahead and watch this. Watch what's going to happen to my agent. I'm going to take 2 heals. Reverberation. Well, okay, yes. Reverberation kicked in, but not resonant. The reason why is because the ISO does not work on quick actions. It only works on full actions. Keep weakening that shield over there. The Rapier is now magic. So the Rapier is going to cause 2 heals. It caused the Reverberation heal, and it caused the Crooked Branch heal. I mean, the Crooked Branch is the Reverberation, but it also procced the Resonant heal. Now, if we look at how many stacks he has, he has a lot. 5 stacks at the end of the turn right after Null went. Mostly because of all the work that Null is doing himself. We're just using Sunfire to keep lowering that shield over there. So now, if he didn't have 5 stacks right now, hitting him with this Rapier would cause a stack. I guess I was exhausted there. So Null's just doing a ton of work in this battle here. This is a melee action, so we'll see if we can proc an extra turn on Null. We don't. The Rapier gets in on it. Nothing for the Rapier. Alright, so let's make sure. Yeah, my quick actions are normal actions. So, you'll notice fire, ranged, tech, and magic. And it's not subtle. So by using this, I would create a meteor stack on Ymir. The Rapier healed me because it's magic, and I finally get the extra turn. Meteor Swarm is just chewing him up. Null didn't get an extra turn off of that. So the Frigid has gone away, so this would become a magical attack right now. I'm going to get healed for this. Except the Crooked Branch fell off. So, remember, the E-ISO does not heal you off of quick actions, but the Crooked Branch will. So that's how you can use the ISO on your agent. If you have one of the suits that allows double ISOs, you can run the Resonant and the Mystic, and then every single action you do, unless it's a quick action, would count and it would heal you. Kind of crazy. And this is also valid for any other hero out there that has 2 ISO slots. If you add the 2 in there, everything they do is magic, everything they do would then heal them. Kind of a crazy combination. And the heal, it's rather solid. It depends on the hit points of the character. The more hit points you have, the bigger each of those heals will be. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Wanted to give you some examples of teams that you could use with the Mystic ISO. Null is definitely one of the best, except of course a lot of Hexen Jaegers and Skeptics out there in the wild Hexenjäger was on sale recently, so it went from the thing maybe 5 of us had, including myself, to the thing that a lot of us have. And Hexenjäger is actually a huge counter for it. If the Hexenjäger pops you and everything you do is magic and everything you do is now cursed by the Hexenjäger, you're in for a lot of trouble. So there is definitely a counter out there in the wild, if need be. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you think of any other good uses of the Mystic EISO, definitely leave it in the comments below. Take care, everybody, and see you in some future videos.